Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's an epic journey through the birth of the American West. The new 8-episode documentary series, Kevin Costner's The West, examines the relentless competition for land, power, and identity from diverse perspectives, illuminating both the tenacious spirit of the pioneers and the courageous resistance of Native American tribes.
Everybody has a reason for wanting this land.
But most of that land was already occupied.
We have been residents for more than 10,000 years.
This is a clash of two different ways of seeing life itself. Fighting for the future of your homeland on the one side, and fighting for the destiny of the new republic on the other side.
The history of the West is a creation story. It's a creation of what we think of as modern America.
The West is a place where anything is possible.
Here to share more, we welcome the executive producer of Kevin Costner's The West, Pulitzer Prize-winning historian, Doris Kearns Goodwin. Doris, great to see you again.
Thank you. I'm glad to be with you again.
So tell me about you two executive produced this. What was it like working with Kevin Costner? How did you two work together?
It was great. It was so much fun. I mean, he knows so much about the West. I mean, I knew about the presidents and the relationship they had to the West, whether it was Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase or what happened during the Civil War with the slave states and the free states, the Mexican-American War and Polk. But he knows this whole story from the ground up, from the movies he's made, from the time he was 7 years old and got interested in Native Americans. So he became my teacher in many ways. He just talked. He talked, and he never stopped talking sometimes. So I loved it. And he made sure that we told the story of the West from all different perspectives, not just the sheriffs and the outlaws and the way we knew it before, but from the women who went to the West and formed communities, from the missionaries who went West, the Native Americans who they encountered and what happened to them, and all the new scholarship that we have among the excerpts right now, the soldiers who got involved after the Civil War. So you're seeing this story from a whole series of dramatic moments in time.
Well, then this is very different because now we're fighting the stereotypes that we've grown up knowing.
I think that's right. I mean, we all learned about sheriffs and cowboys and outlaws, right? And the gold rush maybe. But these were people who were going west to try and find a better life. So the women came. In fact, one of the stories has to do with these two missionaries who took 7 months to go from New York to the Oregon Territory. And what a terrible, brutal battle it was. I'm not sure I ever would have stayed in that covered wagon.
Yeah.
I mean, there's heat and there's rain and there's Native Americans attacking you and there's wild animals. I think I would have stayed in New York, but they kept going.
What other stories stand out to you, your favorites?
I think the story that had the most emotional effect on me had the story of Cynthia Ann Parker. She was in her family's fort, the Fort Parker, when the Native Americans came raiding. They had been raided in turn, so it was a retaliation. And most of her family was killed, but they abducted her when she was 9 years old. She went to live with the tribe. She assimilated. She married the chief of the tribe, had 3 children. And when 33 years old, then her uncle finally found her. They were looking for her for all these years and brought her back to the fort. And it was sad because she wanted to be back with her family. And she kept trying to go back. They brought her back. She finally died back in the fort. But her son becomes the chief of the tribe. And eventually, he becomes a famous character. He gets to know Teddy Roosevelt is in his inaugural parade. And when he's buried with his mother and his little sister who had died. So separated by life, they were united in death. And that story just, whenever you can tell a story like that, that you feel for all the people involved, I think that's when history works.
At the bottom line, this 8-episode documentary series, it's really about competition for land, for power, identity, and a whole lot more, really, when you think about the birth of the West.
Absolutely. And one of the wonderful things is that there's a lot new scholarship now about the Native American experience. And we were able to have a lot of experts talking about that. people who were actually members of the tribes talking about that. So that
Wow.
we get that perspective, as well as the perspective of the settlers, as well as the historical perspective of the presidents. And you're taking a whole century of 1790s to the 1890s and telling these individual stories, hopefully in all of their fullness and their drama.
Absolutely. On a lighter note, I did hear you say that Kevin Costner was your perfect man. Doris, do I need to find out more about this?
Well, how could I not fall for him? He loved history. He loves baseball, my two loves in my life. And he was really wonderful. He was like a teacher for me during this process. Yeah, so we got along really well from the first time we met. It really was fun.
This is fantastic. We want to tell our viewers, Kevin Costner's The West premieres tonight at 9 o'clock with back-to-back episodes on the History Channel. Doris, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm glad I could be with you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.